How much protein do you really need? My name is Marcia Roy Madison. I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I'm going to try to explain that to you. Kind of ironic because a patient today in the clinic was just asking me how much protein and how many calories she should consume. The problem is I believe patients are getting the calories and the protein quantity mixed up. We usually recommend 3,000 calories a day, and we usually recommend 55 to 65 grams of protein a day, two completely different things. So the recommended daily allowance of protein is 55 to 65 grams per day. 55 for women, 65 for men. In order to figure out how much protein you need, you take your weight in pounds. I'm 140 pounds. You divide that by the kilograms, which is 2.2, which equals 63 kilograms. Then you take your kilograms and multiply that by 0.8, and that's grams, and that's going to tell you how many grams you need. So that's 24, this is 48, 49, 50. So really my daily intake of protein should be 50.4 grams. Now, an easier way to do it, if we don't want to do the 2.2, you could just take the 40 pounds, divide that by 2, which gives me 70. If I take the 70 and multiply that by 0.8, so you got 0, you've got 56. Now I have 56 grams per day. So whether I'm using the actual 63 kilograms and multiplying that, or I'm just dividing my weight by 2 and multiplying that, I'm still within this range. But this is based on my ideal weight. Now, suppose I was overweight. Suppose I was 200 pounds. Well, let's take the 200 pounds, divide that by 2, that gives me 100. Then I'm going to multiply that by 0.8. So that's 0, 0, and 8. I'm over, but I'm still close to that 65. So you really don't need that much protein. Try not to get protein mixed up with calories. Yes, the RDA recommends 3,000 calories per day, but those are calories. It's not protein. I wrote some facts over here to give you an idea of how fast this protein can add up. So remember, the female is 55 and the male is 65 grams a day. That's the recommended daily allowance. So so eggs run between 6 to 8 grams. Let's do 3 eggs. 3 eggs that's 24 grams. Then let's do 3 slices of bacon. 3 slices of bacon can be anywhere between 10 to 12 grams. So let's keep the numbers easy. So we've got 30 there. We're already at 54 grams and we've only had breakfast. Now, if we have a chicken salad, and this is just a standard size chicken, that's another 50 grams. That's lunch. This was breakfast. Okay, and now we're already at 104 grams for the day, and we haven't even talked about dinner to have salmon, 25 grams of salmon for dinner, and now we're at 129 grams. So even if I'm using my overweight amount of 200 pounds divided by 2 multiplied by the number of grams per day, that gives me 80. Even as an overweight person, eating all this animal protein puts me way over. So why is it important to not consume too much protein? We know when you consume too much sugar, that's not good. We know that when you consume too much fat, that is not good. What happens when you consume too much protein? There's a physician by the name of Dr. Milton Mills. You can find him on YouTube. He speaks very eloquently about too much protein. What he says is if you are building a house and you plan to build 500 homes, okay? So you're gonna build 500 homes. Do you really need if you're gonna start with house number 1, okay? Do you really need building supplies for for all 499 homes when you're only starting on building number one. So if Home Depot or some other construction company comes along and they're dropping off all of these building supplies, you're only working on house number one, but they keep delivering stuff every day. What's going to happen to all of those building supplies? It's going to turn into rubble. So why do you need building supplies of 500 homes to show up? You don't. It's going to turn into rubble. And in a human being, all of that excess protein turns into tumors. It will tax the kidneys and cause you to have kidney stones or gout. It will promote tumors and cancers. So you really don't need that much protein. Try to stay within the 55 to 65 grams, or try to do half of your weight in pounds and stay within that range. If you look back over here, I know a lot of patients do protein shakes. You can get 100 grams out of one protein shake. So, you know, that's just way too much protein. You do not need that much protein. Protein is not stored in the body. Fat is stored, glucose is stored, protein is not stored. It taxes the kidneys, it causes kidney stones, it causes gout. So in other words, you really don't need that much protein. Try to stay within the range of 55 to 65. Even if you just take your weight and divide it by half rather than dividing by 2.2, you're still going to be below the amount of protein that most people are consuming. Most of us are not trying to become professional athletes or go to the Olympics, so you really don't need that much protein. I hope this video helped. Share if you think someone else can benefit from it. And again, you don't need that much protein. Try not to get protein confused with calorie intake.